This is the Eye on Annapolis Daily News Brief, keeping you informed about the happenings in Annapolis and the area. Local news, local sports, local events, local opinion, and of course, local weather. The Eye on Annapolis Daily News Brief starts now.
Good morning. It's Thursday, May 2nd, 2019. This is John Frenaye, and this is your Eye on Annapolis Daily News Brief. Boy, was yesterday a topsy-turvy day in the State House. The Maryland state lawmakers finally selected a Speaker of the House to replace House Speaker Mike Bush, who passed away on April 7th, and they have elected the state's first black Speaker of the House, as well as the first woman Speaker of the House. Yesterday morning going into it, we thought that Delegate Maggie McIntosh and Delegate Derek Davis were going head-to-head. It looked like Davis had the edge with the help of the Republicans, but the Democrats went into a caucus and ultimately came out with a third solution in Adrienne Jones. Now, Adrienne Jones was the Speaker pro tem under House Speaker Mike Bush. She did run the House when Speaker Bush was in the hospital suffering from pneumonia, was in the running, pulled herself out of the running, and put all of her support behind Delegate Davis. That left the contest between McIntosh, a progressive gay white woman from Baltimore, and Davis, a moderate black man from PG County, and neither candidate was able to reach the 71 votes needed to clinch the speakership within the Democratic caucus. After about 2 hours of meetings, both McIntosh and Davis stepped aside and allowed Jones to ascend to the seat. Now, the Speaker of the House is one of the most powerful positions in state government, and the Speaker does assign lawmakers to committees and appoints the chairs of 6 committees that really shape the legislation and decide what goes forward and what does not. In a great show of unity, Delegate Maggie McIntosh put Delegate Adrienne Jones' name into nomination, and it was seconded by Delegate Derek Davis. It passed unanimously by both Republicans and Democrats. Congratulations to Speaker Jones, an historic day in Annapolis, the very first black female Speaker of the Maryland House of Delegates. If you'd like to see some of the drama that unfolded, head on over to Twitter to A Minor Detail, and that's MINER, and check out Ryan Miner's coverage of that. He was all over it yesterday. And while drama was unfolding in the State House, over in the Arundel Center, County Executive Steuart Pittman unveiled his first budget, and it is a $100 million increase over last year, largely funded as expected by tax increases. The increased tax is supposed to cost the average county taxpayer $442 extra per year, and some of the items that are included in the budget are an additional $46.1 million for education, which would include 136 new classroom teachers, 14 counselors, 12 mental health positions, as well as back pay and raises for teachers that missed them in 2010 and 2011. In the public safety realm, they're going to add 35 new firefighters, 10 new police officers, 1 new chemist for the police department, a management aide, custodial workers, and a new helicopter for the police department. Over in the detention center, they are going to be hiring 9 new detention officers as well as 4 new sergeants. And in the environmental realm, they're hiring 7 new planning and zoning employees as well as 4 new environmental control inspectors. How this is all going to be accomplished will be with increases in taxes, as I had mentioned. This will be both the property and income taxes. The income tax will rise from 2.5% to 2.81%, and property taxes will go from 90.2 cents to 93.5 cents per $100 of assessed value. Now, the budget is thrown over to the County Council, and they have 45 days to pass a balanced budget. There will be several meetings held as the 7 members wade through the document. Over in the Annapolis City Council, there seems to be a sick-out of sorts. Alderman Ross Arnett, Alderman Fred Paone, and Alderwoman Rhonda Pindell Charles are all out on a medical leave. With Arnett and Paone serving on the Finance Committee, which is a critical committee to advance the budget, and actually their deadline is by May 13th, the City Council is going to hold an emergency meeting later today to replace both Paone and Arnett temporarily on the Finance Committee. Their report is due to the Council by the 13th, and neither Paone or Arnett are expected to be back prior to that. And of course, the Council is down from Shanika Henson, who is presumably going to be appointed to the Delegate 30A seat. And apparently, with 4 members still out, the council does still have the quorum to pass legislation if needed. Last night over at Bar Oak, it was the launch of Annapolis Pride Month. Mayor Gavin Buckley was on hand, and he signed a proclamation to make this June LGBTQ Pride Month. for the second year in a row and announced a June 29th date for being the city's first ever Pride Parade and Festival. The mayor did tell the crowd that the LGBTQ community was his first priority when he came to Annapolis, and he wants to make sure to continue to advocate for it. If you or your pets were over in West Annapolis on April 28th and somehow came in touch with a raccoon, listen up. The Anne Arundel County Department of Health has announced that it is seeking anyone who may have come in contact with a raccoon near the intersection of Shiley and Melvin Avenue in West Annapolis. The raccoon did test positive for rabies. If you or your pet had any contact with it, or your pet has any unexplained wounds, you want to contact the health department at 410-222-7256. Feather in the cap for Anne Arundel County Public Schools. 2 high schools in the county were named among the best schools in Maryland in U.S. News & World Report. The publication rated more than 17,000 schools nationwide, and the highest-ranked Maryland school on the list was Walt Whitman High in Bethesda, which was ranked 93 nationwide. The 2 schools in Anne Arundel County that were ranked were South River High School in Edgewater at number 16. That's in Maryland, and nationally they were ranked 660th. And Chesapeake Science Point, which is a charter school in Hanover, that ranked at number 22 in Maryland, nationally ranked 866. So some good news for Anne Arundel County Public Schools. And in our Pugh report, it is widely expected that Mayor Pugh will resign her office today. Baltimore City Solicitor Andre Davis drafted a resignation letter for her and gave it to her attorney yesterday afternoon. Her lawyer, Stephen Silverman, said that he will hold a news conference later on this afternoon from his downtown office. And Pugh basically has been holed up in her house for 35 days now, has not been seen, has had no communications with anybody in City Hall except for her attorney and, of course, her house, her other house, as well as City Hall, and the charities that she was associated with were all raided by the FBI last week. And finally, I hope you were able to get out and see some of the May Day baskets on the houses and businesses in the historic district yesterday. If not, see if you can get out there today. I think the weather is going to cooperate a little bit. There will still be some remnants of the baskets, and they are a beautiful sight. All right, that does it for the top news today. Please make sure you check out that first link in our show notes because it gives you all the different ways to connect with us. If you're someplace where you can give us a rating or a review, please do that. And also give us a recommendation to your friends, colleagues, and family. That would be much, much appreciated. Of course, now you want to hang tight. We've got George Young with your local DMV weather coming up. It is Thursday. We have Trevor with your Annapolis Makerspace Minutes. And all of that is coming up after my message to you about Mathematics.
Have you ever been to the Annapolis Mall when it opens for the day? Maybe you've noticed the line of folks waiting to get into the Apple Store. As you may know, I'm a Mac user, and today's episode of the Daily News Brief, in fact, all of the episodes of the Daily News Brief have been produced right here on my Mac computer. What you might not know about is Mathematics. They were founded here in Annapolis in 1989, and they are an Apple-authorized premium service provider, the only one in the Baltimore-Annapolis, D.C. area. And what that means to you is that they repair all Apple devices, including the iPhone screens and batteries, all without an appointment. And most repairs are done the same day, usually within 2 hours. They also sell everything except the iPhone and the watch for the same price as Apple. I don't know why you would go anywhere else. Give them a call at 410-757-MACS, or if you're not into the whole letter thing, 410-757-6227. Stop by their retail store in Severna Park on Benfield Road, or their service center in Lanham, right off of Route 50. Or you can always check them out online at macmedics.com. I'll tell you, they've saved me quite a few times, and I know they can save you.
Going out? You need the most up-to-date local weather. Here's George Young from DMV Weather in Annapolis with today's forecast.
Hey everyone, this is George with DMV Weather, and this is your Eye on Annapolis forecast for Thursday, May 2nd. Temps should jump back up into the 80s again today as that frontal boundary between cool and warm air that's been over Annapolis for the past couple of days moves to the north a bit, clearing the way for warmer air to the south to move in. But with the warmth and humidity today come a chance of showers and maybe even thunderstorms later this afternoon and evening, with Friday bringing pretty much the same setup with highs in the 80s and an ongoing chance of rain. As for the weekend, temps will likely be in the 70s to near 80 on Saturday, while in the low 70s on Sunday, with a chance of rain for all of Anne Arundel County both days before sunshine and 70s return to start next week. Okay, that's it for today. This is George Young of DMV Weather. Make it a great day out there. Be sure to get our free app on all of your devices by searching for DCMDVA Weather in the Apple or Google App Stores. And also follow us on Facebook and Twitter and on our website at dmvweather.com so you can always stay weather informed.
This is Sarah Koenig, host of the Serial Podcast. I'm coming to Annapolis, to Maryland Hall, on Friday, May 17th, for an onstage conversation about how we created Serial, how we make stories, well, how we make them good, and why they matter. I hope you'll come. For tickets, go to marylandhall.org.
He started to get down on one knee, and I saw the ring, and I saw him, and I honestly don't know that I said yes right on the back.
She didn't say anything. She was just shaking for a little while, and then I think you said yes eventually.
Yeah, I guess I did.
Hope so.
I'm Steve Samaras of Zachary's Jewelers. That was John and Michelle's story of yes. For a chance to win a beautiful, rare, responsibly sourced Forevermark Tribute Collection diamond pendant, share your story at astoryofyes.com.
Every week, makers, crafters, and educators hold events all over the area. Highlighting some of those, here's our Maker's Minute, brought to you by Annapolis Makerspace.
Hey, this is Trevor from Annapolis Makerspace with this week's Maker Minutes. Today at Maryland Hall is Making an Impression, etchings from the Anne Arundel Community College print shop. Saturday at the Hammond Harwood House and Chase Lloyd House in downtown Annapolis is Derby Fest. Celebrate the history of horse racing in Annapolis, watch the Kentucky Derby, enjoy mint juleps, beer, wine, food, games, and more. Saturday at the American Visionary Art Museum in Baltimore is the 21st Annual Kinetic Sculpture Race, a race of wacky, imaginative, totally human-powered works of art traveling on land, through mud, and over the waters of the Inner Harbor. Sunday in Annapolis is the inaugural First Sunday Arts Festival of 2019. Head down and support the fabulous Arts District with over 130 artists and vendors and great live entertainment. Also on Sunday at Kurtz's Beach in Pasadena is the Made in Maryland Festival. Celebrate all things Maryland, the only completely Maryland-themed festival, and it features live music, local wineries, breweries, food vendors, and more, including live jousting. Lastly on Sunday, at Quiet Waters Park, is the Anne Arundel County ASPCA's Walk for the Animals. Take a stroll in the park, help raise money for the SPCA, check out the vendors, and also check out the Cars and Critters car show, as well as the Canine Demo and Agility Yard. Monday, the Annapolis Quilt Guild has their guild meeting, which comes up on the first Monday of every month at the St. Philip's Episcopal Church on Bestgate Road. Tuesday at Whole Foods in Annapolis is the Half Pint Kids Club. This time they're doing breakfast on a stick for ages 3 to 5. Learn how to make a nutritious snack using all natural ingredients. Wednesday, the Annapolis Watercolor Club has their monthly general meeting at Maryland Hall. And this week at Art Farm in Annapolis, on Tuesday, they're having an open mic night. And there's also still a few dates open in their spring semester, classes including sketchbooking, art discovery, mixed media art, cartooning, as well as a few dates left in their clown school at Art Farm. This week, GEMS, Girls Excelling in Math and Science, is having another one of their STEM Saturday Academies at the New Carrollton Branch Library, exploring STEM through fun hands-on activities. And this week at Pongo's Learning Lab and Coder Kids Club in Crofton, on Saturday, they're doing the art and design of video games with artist Tyrone Banks. Break down the basics of game design and learn how to create video game characters in their environments. Pongo's also has their regular weekday theme nights, as well as their daily Little Scientists Club to check out. And this week at Annapolis Makerspace, on Tuesday we have our monthly Fusion 360 3D design and CAD workshop night. And as with every week, Wednesdays are our woodworking night, and Thursdays are our electronics night. And you can catch me tonight and every Thursday night at Annapolis Makerspace on Renard Court for electronics night. And you can find links to all of these events at the Annapolis Makerspace website at makeannapolis.org. And whether you're making art, software, sawdust, or just a mess, chances are you're already a maker. This has been Trevor from Annapolis Makerspace with this week's Maker Minutes.
You've been listening to the Eye on Annapolis Daily News Brief. Tell your friends and colleagues this is the podcast where you can keep up on the latest with what's going on in Annapolis. And also tell them about our website, eyeonannapolis.net, where you can find even more information. This podcast comes to you every Monday through Friday at 7 a.m., keeping you informed with the Eye on Annapolis Daily News Brief. And take a moment to listen to our other podcast, The Maryland Crabs, released every Thursday at noon.